Okay, Chairman, we're now live.
Good evening, councillors, and good evening, everybody. If there's anyone out there listening to us, you're very welcome to this full council meeting, our 10th one that we've held virtually. My name's Helen Douglas, and you're able to watch this now or on the Parish Council's YouTube channel at your leisure. I'll start the meeting by having a general roll call for our councillors who are going to respond if they're here. Councillor Anderson. Thank you. Councillor Barrett? No, he's not with us this evening. Councillor Bird? Thank you, he is. Councillor Caudry? We have apologies from Councillor Caudry, I think. I remember seeing them.
Oh, yes, we do, Chairman. Thank you.
Councillor Forfer? Thank you, she's here. Councillor Higby is present. Councillor McGuinness? Is not. Councillor Marsh?
Sends her apologies, Chairman.
Thank you. Councillor Mignott is here. Councillor Scott is not here. Councillor Speary is here. Councillor Tennant.
Present, Chair.
And Councillor Warrilow is not here. We've also got with us this evening our clerk, Mel Stevens, our deputy clerk, Linda Greenslade, Joe Carhill, who's our finance officer, and Martin Johnson, our operations manager. We've also got Julie Nicholson here, who's representing the Fountain Cafe, and she's here to support item 3 about the cafe. Mel, have we had any written questions from residents so far?
None, Chairman.
And are there any residents this evening who wish to speak?
No, Chairman, other than Julie for the cafe item.
Thank you. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're live, I'm afraid you've missed your opportunity right now, but you're very welcome to speak at any other council meeting that we have. And all you need to do is email the clerk up to an hour before the meeting and we can send you the link so that you are able to participate in it. We'd very much like you to attend. So let's start then with our agenda. It's our minutes. They were paper A in the bundle that was sent out, and that's on the council website. Do members approve the meeting minutes, please, of the council?
Chair.
Theory is proposing. Councillor Tennant, was that a question or were you seconding?
I was about to say that there's an error that I'd like corrected, please.
Which is?
On paragraph 82, planning applications, the first paragraph says that councillors Caudry, Marsh and Tennant disclosable pecuniary interest. In my case, and I'm probably the same with the other two, it's non-pecuniary. There's no financial benefit.
Thank you. Well, we'll amend it for yours, but we won't with the other two councillors until we've spoken to them. So we've got a proposer. Is there a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Bird. All in favour? Thank you, that's carried. And the planning comments that have been set out in paper A, is there anything anybody would like to say about them while we note them? Thank you. Nobody's showing any interest in that. So item 2 then are declarations of interest. That's where councillors have to declare an interest in anything that they have on the agenda, whether it's people they know or companies or organisations that they're involved with. Are there any declarations of interest, Mel? No, there aren't. Thank you. So we'll move on to item 3, which is about our cafe task and finish group. And this is an interim report and it was labelled paper B in the pack. And for residents who don't know, we've been trying to assist a community cafe to have a site within the village. We've come quite close on a couple of occasions, but we have a task and finish group who are looking into it now. And I think Councillor Forfar chaired the group, and it seems that from the report there's been a lot of action, a lot of things have been happening, and you've been very busy. Councillors will have read this report, but Councillor Forfar, is there anything you would like to add to it at this point?
No, I think most of it's said in the report, really. Just really excited. Nice to know that, you know, got receiving a lot of positive reports, really. So yeah, quite excited, really. I think we all.
Thank you. Well, we've got Julie Nicholson here, who represents the Fountain Cafe. Julie, is there anything you want to say about the report or to councillors?
No, I'm really here just if anybody has any questions that they want to ask, I will endeavour to answer them for you this evening. Just to say that we're really excited, especially about the funding that seems to be now available. So, you know, we're very much hoping to partner with the parish council in moving this kind of project forward. So if anybody has any questions relating to the report, Mel and I will try and Christina will try and answer them for you.
Lovely, thank you. Well, Julie alluded there to some funding, and the parish council does have some funding for this from developer contributions. And I'm saying that not for my councillors who have read the papers, but for anybody listening. This is money that is given in return for new housing, and there is some that is allocated to this project. And we think the best place for it to go is on New Century Park. Mel, do you have anything to add to this report before I ask councillors if they have any questions?
No, just to reiterate the good news that we received from Bishopstoke, Ferrick and Horton Heath local area committees, obviously Eastleigh Borough Council's committee. They've actually looked at their allocation of Section 106 money and have allocated 157 and a bit money to the Shorts Road site and the provision of a cafe. So it's really exciting news, because the Task and Finish group had been working on various options with the idea of having very little financial support. So actually having this quite significant pot of money, not just for the cafe, but to improve the overall site, it's really good news for our residents. So I'm really, really pleased for them.
Thank you. So councillors, any questions then for either three, well, any of our three people? Councillor Mignott.
Nothing to ask, Chair.
Oh, thank you. Councillor Tennant.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I'd like to ask about the way that this is being arranged. As I understand it, it's an arm's length agreement. So the councils support this, but not financially. So the Fountain Cafe Community Interest Company is dealing with this on their own. So if they need new equipment and other such things, that's down to them. If they make a loss, that's down to them. If they make a profit, I know it's non-profit making, but I just want to understand the financial implications for the council.
Thank you. Julie, do you want to explain a little bit more about that?
I think at this stage we're still trying to kind of work on that agreement and understand. But yeah, my understanding is obviously once we're operating as a CIC, we won't be expecting any extra support from the parish council. We're hoping that we will generate our income to just keep our costs going and be able to, you know, we're working on a business plan at the moment. You know, and looking forward, looking at all of those options at the moment in terms of finance. Mel might be better able, she's looking into a little bit more about the implications of that. So I think you want to say something, Mel?
Yeah, I kind of set out options as to how this would be, how the relationship with the council and the cafe would work moving forward. I think what we wanted to do as a Task and Finish group was actually, you know, because we hadn't updated members for over a year and quite a lot has happened in that time, we wanted to get a steer from the council as to the general principles of a partnership project for the development of a community cafe, and then depending on getting members' agreement in principle, then we would go away and work on those fine details, and then with obviously advice from our solicitor, and come back to the council with a firm business case and proposal. But I think the aim was to actually come up with a mutually beneficial agreement that both the council and the CIC were comfortable with.
Thank you, because
Thank you.
I'm very interested in this project. I think it's excellent. It's an excellent idea. We have a similar project on another council on which I serve, but that's not arm's length. And so we've run, so that was the basis of my question, really. We've been running into problems of the cafe making a loss. And so then the councillors have to decide whether they want to keep the concern going for the community aspect, even though it's making a loss. So I like the idea. When I read the report, it seems to me that in this case, we're working on an arm's length agreement, which it seemed to me a much better way of doing it. Yeah, from what I can see so far, I'm very supportive.
Thank you, Councillor Tennant. Well, plainly, we don't have the expertise to run a cafe or the staff to do it. And of course, this community cafe has been going for a very long time in a number of locations. It's very well established, does all sorts of good work in the community. So we want to be able to support it. So I think it is work in progress for this agreement, but I'm absolutely certain that it will be an agreement that is in the best interest of both the community cafe and the parish council and our residents. So I'm really pleased about that. Councillor Scott has just joined us for the benefit of people watching. Any other questions, please, about this? Councillor Speary.
Thank you, Chairman. Very excited about this whole project and pleased to see that there's a fair proportion of assured finance coming in. There's still a gap of over £20,000 I proposed income from the Fountain Cafe itself. And the thing that's issued, it's new to me really, as an old man, this crowdfunding issue. I wonder if somebody could take me through where that money is likely to come from. And so that we can be, so that I can be assured that we've got a fair chance that it will actually turn up eventually. Thank you, Chairman.
I'm happy to take
Mel,
that,
would you like this one?
Yeah. So crowdfunding, it's basically setting up. It's a platform, an online platform, of which you fundraisers for a good cause. You don't necessarily have to be a charity, but in this case, it's for a charity. So you'll set up a crowd. There are many different websites there that you can, like Just Giving, you can set up a crowdfunding page, and you're basically going online and asking for donations and support from your local community, Hampshire, the world. If they think it's a good enough cause, they will then put money in it online via your crowdfunding page, and you can set yourself little targets. It's usually time limited, or you can extend the time. So it's a really good way, and lots of charities, that's one of the main ways they fundraise these days, because obviously you get a wider reach of people.
So it's a good success rate, is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so it's very much work in progress then, but I'm going to suggest that we do accept the recommendations in that report so that things can continue to move forward. Is there a seconder for that, please? Councillor Speary is seconding, and all in favour, please, of accepting these recommendations. And that does appear to be unanimous. Thank you very much, everybody. A really good result for Fair Oak. And thank you very much to Christina for leading that task and finish group, and for Mel and Julie for all your input so far. And we'll be hearing more very shortly, I'm sure. Thank you.
Can I just say thank you for having me tonight? I'll obviously nip off now, but it's just so lovely to be able to partner with you in this. And I'm just really looking forward to the coming months and years ahead. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Julie, for everything.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. So we're going to move on to item 3A, which is to agree the finance report of the 9th of March, which came out to you very late, just before this meeting, I think. Are there any questions about it? No, I'm going to propose that they are accurate. Is there a seconder, please? Councillor Speary, and all in favour? And we are. Thank you very much. So, Joe, report of the responsible finance officer, please, about our finances, which was item C in the pack available online.
Yes,
Any updates, Joe?
yeah, so other than that report, I don't have anything further to add unless members have got any specific questions.
Any questions for Joe, please, on the last finance report that is in our pack? Can I propose then, please, that we note that report and we agree the backs payments? Thank you, Philip, you're seconding it, and all in favour, please. Thank you very much, unanimous again. Item 5 then. We look at our cemetery rules and regulations quite often, and it was time they were updated. I know Linda's worked very hard on these. Are there any questions for Linda or Mel about the report D of the updating of our cemetery regulations? No councillors have got anything to say. In that case, would somebody like to propose them, please, as being accepted? Is there a proposer? Thank you, Councillor Speary. Is there a seconder? Councillor Higby, thank you. All in favour? And we are. Thank you very much. That was unanimous again. Item 6. Again, Mel's been quite busy updating our documents, and this time it's our human resource documents, report E. There was a report setting out all the new policies that we should be proposed to adopt, and I'm very pleased that we've now got a much better comprehensive system for all our HR issues that we may have in the future. And these have been talked through with the staff, who are all very happy with the alterations that have been made. Are there any questions for Mel about any of this, please? No, it doesn't appear that there are. Well, as Chair of Finance and Staffing, then I'm going to propose that we accept these new HR documents. Is there a seconder, please? Councillor Scott, thank you. And all in favour, please. And that's passed. That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Item 7 then. Our corporate plan. We seem to have a lot of plans on our agenda this evening, and rules and regulations. It's not always like this if you're watching. Sometimes there are other things as well, but of course we have to comply with all the legislation. So if you remember, we had a survey in which over 300 residents responded to us, and Mel did some analysis of that. And from that analysis, officers have themed them into our core priorities, which are the basis of this corporate plan and our action plan. Members will have read this report, which was report F. Are there any questions at all about the document and where our priorities should be? It was always really helpful that our residents also had the same priorities as we had. So it was really nice to be supported in that way. But any questions at all about it? Councillor Speary.
Thank you, Chair. I'm just interested in the lifespan of this particular document. Clearly, it will age. In fact, if talking about COVID, we hope it'll age fairly quickly. But that's the introduction area, and I just wondered how often we would need to update it. Thank you, Chairman. Mel?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I think in order to make these things worthwhile and relevant, we would need to, I would hope, after the community consultation, I would go back and look at any feedback and draft an action plan, which I would suggest that we review on an annual basis, and we can actually sort of set ourselves little targets and just check our progress against those. And it can also form part of our annual reporting as well.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Councillor Bird. Chairman.
It's not so much a question, more an observation that there's several comments in responses from residents about not knowing what the parish council does, remoteness, and even an illusion of secrecy. Well, we know that everybody can watch this, but it appears that a few residents don't. I thought, well, I'll go and have a look on the website and see whether there's any statement there about what the parish council does, and I couldn't find one. Do you think we need one?
Oh, yes, I think we probably do. I'm surprised that there isn't one there. Mel, as our website, well, you're not actually, you don't run our website. Carly does that for us. Is that something that we could work upon?
Yeah, we do need to have a bit of an overhaul of our website, and we should do that on a regular basis. What we are getting better at, and I think is we do have a wider reach, is we regularly update and post on our Facebook page. So we will, a few days before our meetings, we'll advertise them on Facebook. We've obviously got a larger number of Facebook followers than we do have on hits on our website. But yeah, you're absolutely right. We do need to make it clear about the activities that we undertake on our website as well as Facebook. That we've got quite a lot to do, I think, with our communications, our digital communications, and that is obviously a priority that we'll have moving forward.
Thank you, Mel. It is very difficult to keep up to date with everything, and particularly when we've been managing through a COVID crisis. But thank you very much, Councillor Bird, for that observation. That's really important. And we, as you heard, we will be working on that. Any other questions?
Sorry, Chairman. I think it's also worth saying that we do actually have a monthly e-bulletin that goes out, and we have lots of detailed information about the activities that have been taking place in the last month. So I would encourage residents to sign up via email to receive our monthly bulletin.
Thank you. Councillor Speary.
Just wanted to say how well represented I thought the document was. I thought it very good, very easy to read, and quite attractive to read. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments about our plan? Well, we look forward to working our way through it, Mel, and adding things to it and crossing things off as we do them. That's really good. Thank you so much. So finally, our work programme, which was report G, that's just on our agenda in order for councillors to see what's coming up and what needs to be done or add other things to it. Is there anything that needs to be added to the work programme or any comments anybody would like to make? Nobody has any comments to make on it. That's fine. Thank you very much. So that actually concludes our parish council meeting for this evening, and that's all the business dealt with. Thank you so much, councillors, for being part of this, and public if you're watching it live or if you've watched it online. We're very pleased to have you with us. Our next meeting will be on the 19th of April at 7 o'clock. If you want to talk, please, you've got until an hour before the meeting to let Mel know so that you can be joined to it and put your point of view or ask things. So until then, thank you very much to everybody. Good night and stay safe. Thank you.